This is Fix It Out. In this video, we're going to be discussing Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is required to use the Amazon Fire Stick to its full potential, and the faster speed you have, the better content, the better quality you're going to be able to enjoy. So, let's get started. In order to test your Wi-Fi speed, make sure you're connected to your Wi-Fi either through your phone, tablet, whatever it be. And you can actually just test your internet really fast by downloading an app called Speed Test. It looks like that button. Let's see if we can focus on that right there. Okay, Speed Test. If you click on it right here, it's by the company called Ookla. O-O-K, let me see. How do you spell that? O-O-K-L-A. So just keep that in mind. So if you notice we're actually connected to Wi-Fi right here, you push begin test. This will actually test your internet. So right now it's just going through the speed test. Test ping. Ping is just response time, how long it takes to respond to something. 42 milliseconds, that's about average. Anywhere from 40 to 80 is average. Even the hundreds is not that bad, but usually if you're up in the 80s to hundreds, it's pretty slow by today's standards. And if you notice, we're doing something called download and upload speeds. So right now I have 16.4 megabits per second, which is pretty decent. I recommend at least 10 for you to be able to stream anything you want. Upload doesn't really matter. So the only one we really care about is the download right here. So if you have at least 10, you're good to go just about on any content. If you have 5, you're good to stream stuff, but don't expect to stream everything in HD. So that's just a good example. And one other note before I actually leave. If for whatever reason you place your Amazon Fire Stick on the TV and it just happens to be, let's say, 8 feet or greater from the actual router, even though the antenna says you have good signal, there's a good chance you don't have good streaming signal. Now, having good signal and good internet are two different things, so for whatever reason you just cannot get the actual router to be closer to your TV, one thing I definitely recommend, and luckily I just kept this box, this is going to be real handy. Let's see if you can, let me adjust this so you can see the box. Alright, so this is a Asus RT-N12. They call it a 3-in-1 router. Can be readily found on Amazon, eBay, and stuff like that, because what makes this router really good is that it has something called a range extender. If you notice right here, whenever you set up the router, instead of trying to set it up as a new Wi-Fi, what you can do is just plug it midway in between. So let's say, for example, in my house, what we did is, instead of trying to get a stronger router, trying to get the TVs closer to the internet source, what I did is I just put a router in between the house. So I want to say about 10 feet from here. And this literally just plugs in, it connects to your existing Wi-Fi, and it repeats that signal. So obviously it is good, or it is important to stay within range, not too far to where you barely receive the signal, but where you receive a fairly strong signal in order for it to be able to repeat. So because once you repeat the internet, it's going to slow down by a little bit, but not too much if you stay within a good range. So my range went from previously like 10 or 15 feet, because at 10 to 15 feet, the internet was already suffering. I wasn't able to stream anything. It was really slow. But with this in between at 10 feet, my signal is strong now. I'm able to stream Wi-Fi content really well. Kodi Stick works no problem in my living room, which is actually about 20 feet away. So just a small recommendation just in case you just can't. These are probably about $35 online, so not very expensive. If you go to your Walmart, Best Buy, they'll probably be a lot more expensive, up into the $50, $60, $70 range, but you really don't need no more. if you notice right here, it goes up to 300 megabits per second. And keep in mind, they have stuff called gigabit routers, which is a lot faster. But keep in mind, a faster router does not mean faster internet. It just means it's able to handle more internet. Because most people, they don't have a gigabit internet connection, so they essentially have no use for it. Unless you have something called Google Fiber out there in Austin or Kansas, I believe, then you won't be able to take advantage of a gigabit router. So this is plenty enough. Keep in mind that my house had 16 megabits, so that's a lot less than this 300 is rated for. So keep that in mind, and make sure I have a good Wi-Fi signal. Make sure I have good Wi-Fi distance. If you're too far, chances are the Cody's app might not work. It'll load up. You'll be able to search for movies, but when it comes time to actually click on the link, it's not gonna load. And that could be due to the fact that, it's just not getting a good signal, a good streaming signal, because it does require quite a bit of bandwidth in order to run some videos. So if you're close, it's going to play just fine. And a quick, easy way to tell if it's your internet router or the router that's giving you problems is if you place your Fire Stick close to the router, I'm talking less than 5 feet away, and just use a TV close by, chances are it will be playing perfectly. And the moment you go back to, like, let's say the living room, the den, wherever you had your TV at, and it isn't playing no more, then that means it's the router. And in that case, it's just saying the signal can't get that far and deliver the same content at the same bandwidth. So consider upgrading if you actually do need this. They're actually really easy to set up. So that's about it. Just notes on Wi-Fi in this video. Thank you so much for watching.